Voodoo witchcraft? He asked, incredulous. They're called abs, dude. They're called abs, dude, I mocked him. He only laughed harder. You'd know if you bothered to actually work out, bro, he teased. I punched his shoulder, showing him the power of my training. Besides, if all we had done today in bed wasn't considered a power workout, I didn't know what could be. Our laughter died down and Cam exhaled slowly, looking at the ceiling. I closed my eyes and waited. Any moment now, he would ask me to fire up my PlayStation and play Star Wars Jedi: Fallen Order. He would then proceed to complain that the game was made with only one point of view, and that it was acting morally superior to the order-bringing Empire, to which I would act horrified that I would have sex with a Palpatine supporter. The thoughts tugged on the corners of my lips. It was as inevitable as needing to inhale that I would fast forward to the coming fall, and all the things it would bring, and my smile only grew wider. Huh? Cam muttered next to me, and I realized I had lost myself in thoughts again. Nothing, I said softly. Cam snorted. If nothing can get you grinning like that, I'd love to see what something could do to you. I lifted my arms and slipped my hands under my head, twining fingers. Maybe I could ask him while he played Fallen Order. It was true we never talked about big things. This one was too big to ignore. We were finally leaving Holland, Michigan. We were finally getting away from the prying eyes of our families. Well, my family had prying eyes. Cam's only shouted as far as I knew. It was weird that we hadn't talked about it yet, though. The huge elephant in the room, and I was nervous about bringing it up first because it could make me look needy, and I didn't want that. I wasn't needy. I just knew what a good deal was. I'd known it instantly. As soon as we had received our acceptance letters, I had known what the ideal arrangement would be. We should be roommates at Northwood University. It only made sense. We had been friends, I'd even say best friends, for half our lives, and we'd been having sex for months. We had been teammates throughout high school, and we would continue to be teammates at Northwood. Arctic Titans for the win. We were both going on a hockey scholarship, so it was obvious we wouldn't be parting ways anytime soon. Not that I wanted to rush things. We had a good thing here. I could keep this going for ages. We didn't need to make it official. Hell, we didn't need to have sex every week either. I could totally go on like this and have my best friend with me when we embarked on the next chapter of our lives. But when I looked at Cam, my heart throbbed softly, and a fear of something changing clawed at my guts. Talking about anything important had gotten harder the longer we had been intimate, or talking about anything at all. My tongue was tied, and my palms were sweating. The sneaky little voice inside my head kept telling me he would just scoff and shake his head if I said something stupid or sentimental. I scanned his face. He seemed so peaceful, gazing at the fluorescent stars glued to my ceiling. It was nearly noon and they weren't glowing, but he'd slept over enough times our entire lives, long before we'd turned our sleepovers into something better, that he knew what they looked like at night. He was all sharp lines and angles. There were no curves on his handsome face. Straight nose, pronounced Cupid's bow, thin lips with sharp outlines. Even his eyes were narrow and his eyebrows flat when he wasn't frowning. Everything about him whispered of caution and alertness. He was deadly elegant like a young tiger. Cam looked around, then spotted his underwear.